Hello guys, welcome back to another video. And I'm kind of sad about making this video. You saw the title already. My Z Flip 4 broke. Alright, so let's give a little backstory, right? I was on my way to go lock my car. I had to grab the keys. I had the phone in my right hand, and I was about to close it in order to grab the door handle, right? So I close it, but as I'm closing it, it slips out of my hand and it falls on, because I have like a little bit of tile at the front where the door is, and it kind of carries on into the hallway, whatever. But right where the door is, there's a metal piece there, right? It fell on both. Instant. I noticed it. I picked up the phone. I was like, it's probably fine. And I picked it up, turned it around, and there was a little bit of pixelation on the side of the display over here. There was some green stuff. And I'm just like, all right, small damage, whatever. I closed the phone. I went to go outside and lock my car. I came back inside, put the keys back, and as I was going to my room, I opened up the flip, and there's just a black line across where it folds. You can imagine the stress, the emotions going into that. I was going to record the video the same day, but I was like going through a roller coaster of emotions because I didn't know how I felt. I felt like stressed, anxiety, and it was just like a really overwhelming sense of emotion at the time. And I was like freaking out, And so, because this is a brand new phone, guys. This is a brand new phone. I didn't even have it 1 week before I dropped it. And on its first drop, it had to break. And I was mad at the same time as well while I was freaking out. Because I'm just like, I just made a video, right? I mean, you guys saw it, where I was like talking about how it's, the fourth iteration, Samsung have kind of ironed out most of their issues, and I believe in the durability of this phone. And yet, here I go, dropping the phone accidentally, and the screen goes black. Well, not the entire screen. The middle part of the screen went black when I folded it. And I was like, it was just major disappointment. Like, it was, like, I get it, it was my fault, but at the same time, this is real world situations. You accidentally drop your phone while it's open, and, it's a 50-50 on whether your display is going to survive. I mean, with tried and true phones, like, the iPhones or the Galaxy S22s of the world, right? They're a candy bar style phone, and when you drop them on their face, it's going to hit, but at least that there's a really good chance that it survived because it's just a drop. It's not like the displays have been phenomenal, right? They have tempered glass. At least you'll know that the screen is going to work, even if the glass is cracked, right? But this one is slightly different because the inside of the display is plastic, as you all know, but it feels very like glass. So I'm just going to turn on the phone, and you can see a little bit of flickering, and we'll see if it turns on. As you can see, it's on, but there's nothing up here, right? Yeah, so let me tell you how it got worse. I was like, okay, it clearly has a black line across the screen. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I do have insurance, so that's the positive part. I'm just still figuring out what my options are because I took it to a repair shop twice and they were having a headache doing it because of the custom rails and the custom color that I decided to go for. This is the bespoke edition, as you know. And due to the fact that apparently during the repair, they have to actually take off this slab of glass, and the frame itself is connected to the display, which is kind of a poor design, I think, by Samsung. I'm going to see if I can try to take off the case without breaking the phone more. So here's my phone. As you can see, there's a black screen, a black part of the screen. And yeah, so I'm kind of sad about this. Also, it no longer responds to my touch input. It only responds to power buttons, and occasionally there's a part of the screen that actually does detect it. I will say that prior to it getting worse, it actually, so you see this black spot right here. Basically, this top part instantly stopped working. This from the very beginning, after I dropped it, it just didn't work. It wouldn't detect my finger, and it still doesn't, as you can tell. The bottom part, however, did actually respond to my touch inputs like it is right now. And it's like kind of holding on to life, because the other day it wasn't responding at all, so I had to use a wireless mouse and plug it in through the USB Type-C port, and that was basically how I was navigating the phone. That was the only way I could. And as you can see, there's some light flickering, there's some green flashing over here, there's some dimming randomly over here, the whole screen. And the top screen does the same thing, but it's a little bit calm right now. And it's just sad to see this, you know? It hurts your soul to see your phone like this, especially when it's brand new, dude. Brand new. I'm kind of reliving my emotions right now. So this is kind of unfortunate for me, because I have to go through the headache of sending it back to Samsung, because they have all the genuine parts, meaning they have this gold color and everything. So we'll have to see how this insurance thing plays out, because it's not like you can just replace it. Because if I got the all black phone, or the all white phone, or the lavender, or the rose gold, or I think it was a blue actually, it would be a lot easier of a repair. But since it's a custom color, I have to send it to Samsung, because no shop has the parts. They have to custom order the parts, which would take longer than if I were to send it back to Samsung for repair. So what I have to do is send the phone back to Samsung. And as you can see, this is one of those times where it's not detecting my finger at all. But the cool thing is, at least it does detect my fingerprint. And right now it just turned on, so I need to type in my password. But when it comes to like actually using the phone, like I can actually use the fingerprint sensor and it'll work just fine. And there you go. We have a little bit of touch sensitivity, but it's not nearly enough to, you know, at first it worked, but from there it just kind of didn't. So here's the phone. This is exactly, it basically just started with a line across the middle, and then it started to bleed along the top part of the display. And then for whatever reason, it started to get worse over here at the bottom of the display, the bottom half. And basically the screen started to peel off the phone. If I put it in a bend right now, you can see the liftage right here. This little bump that you can see right there, that's those little waves that you see here at the bottom and over here. It's the screen actually lifting up from the phone. Look at that. It's a full on, I don't know if you can see that little reflection right there. That's the screen lifting off the actual phone. It's pretty crazy to see this kind of stuff. Didn't think it would happen to me, but it did, and I'm glad I have insurance. So definitely, if you pick up one of these phones, insurance is definitely a must, because even though Samsung has a 1-year warranty, that's only for things that go wrong from the phone's perspective. Like if the phone messed up by itself, Samsung is covering an unlimited number of repairs if it goes wrong with your hinge, or the phone cracks in the middle without any kind of accident. It just happens by default. That's considered a manufacturer defect, which Samsung is giving you free repairs, no matter how many, for 1 year. So that's a pretty good thing, right? But you also have to account for the other factor, which is you, the user, right? You're going to drop your phone just like you do any of your other phones. You're going to drop it by accident at some point, and this is what happens. Insurance is definitely a good thing. Go for it. $8 a month is a small price to pay for salvation. This is definitely going to need that Samsung Care Plus, and it does have that Samsung Care Plus. I just need to go ahead and do all the filing of the claims and whatever, and ship it to Samsung, wait for them to get back to me and whatever. So this is going to be a couple weeks, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, depending on how, the process is done. But this is my first time having to repair a phone, and also sending it actually to Samsung instead of a repair shop. It's just, you pay a price for having these kinds of nice things, right? This is why we can't have nice things, because we break them, right? So yeah, this is kind of sad. I'm kind of sad. Anyway, that was it for this video. I hate to ramble on, but I just had to vent, you know. That was it for this one. See you guys in the next one. Hopefully by then the phone will be repaired. For right now, I'm using my iPhone 13 Pro as my daily driver because I have no other phone. And yeah, so this is really unfortunate. Like, if you get a custom color, make sure you have like an extra backup phone in case you break this phone, because I cannot tell you how clutch this phone has been. The iPhone 13 Pro has been so clutch for me because it was my daily driver while I was waiting for this phone, and now my daily driver for the next week or two, maybe even 3 weeks, depending on how fast Samsung gets their process done and repairs done. And so by the time I get the phone, we'll have to see how long I've been using this iPhone as my daily driver. But I really want to go back to my Galaxy because there's so many cool things on this phone that I really love. And not only that, but you also have the flex factor, which I really miss. You have a boring iPhone 13 Pro compared to this. I mean, I'd rather have this. This is a really cool phone. I really want to use it, but as you know, it hardly works on anything, so I have to go get it repaired. But that was it for this video for the final time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.